Temple history. In Firavitoba the temple was badly damaged. When Reverend Ignacio Ramon Abella arrived, as a nephew of his had obtained a model for Nobsa, rejected because of its complexity, he convinced the residents of Firavitoba and work began for a new temple with that model. On December 8, 1873, the foundation stone was laid in the form of earthenware and the post was blessed, beginning with the foundations, of great depth. Those who dug them filled the trenches with large stones, for which at the time, they were beaten with a chisel, so that the rough surfaces would achieve better adherence. In 1882 the old temple was covered and a provisional chapel was made for the tabernacle, improvising a bower, and it was done in time, because the old cult center fell to earth. Between 1893 and 1894 a large part of the side walls were raised. Then the search for wood began, with a route of people to Bogota, on the opposite side of the Total Lagoon, a week chopping cedars without knocking them down, until when they had the last one and they all fell in series. Rafts were assembled to cross the lake and finally the descent to Firavitoba. In 1901 the priest died, and the model was lost. The work was suspended, because some convinced people that there was no point in running a company of such proportions, growing pines in the front. In 1916, named the Sir Priest Abdenago Zambrano, a native of the municipality, he wanted to restart the building with the obstacle of the lack of a plan, convincing through the seminarian Jose Maria Quijano, Friar Hugo Orjuela, Dominican priest, who at that time directed the construction of the temple in Paipa, to help find the model of the temple of Firavitoba. In 1926 the religious saying arrived with the plans of the temple, but a row of cornices had to be dismantled at the height of the choir. The parish priest commissioned the master Gregorio Gomez Salamanca, who with 18 stonemasons from Firavitoba, continued with the construction. In 1933 the facade was suspended and it was ordered to finish the roof to avoid the deterioration of the walls already raised, which were in the open, and at that time Reverend Zambrano died, 1935 being replaced by the Sir Priest Felipe Santiago Cuervo. It belonged to this religious to see the roof completed in 1937, to continue with the front, which was still without the towers. Reverend Marco Julio Garcia was blessed with the blessing of the first tower on January 6, 1944, for which he invited the Firavitobians who had emigrated. The last of the front was placed on February 10, 1949, in the time of the ecclesiastic Francisco Suarez, a great joy to the population, to see its complete temple. The parish priest Luis Felipe Granados, one day asked the council for help with a stained glass window located in the central window, which represented the crucifixion of the Lord, made by the artist Walter Gall, a very famous German, resident in Bogotá. He also made an effort to build the main altar, a canopy, designed by the architect Alfonso Cuervo. The Sir Priest Jorge Arsenio Lopez was the one who saw the completion of the altar, to make the consecration, but this corresponded to his successor Reverend Jose Ramon Paez, on August 1, 1976, in which the religious center was anointed to Our Lady of the Snows. In the administration of Sir Priest Victor Guerra, an earthquake with an epicenter in Toramena, Casanare, on January 19, 1995 damaged the temple, falling part of the north tower, for which it was necessary to lower the stones of both towers, with the idea that each family paid for the climb of a stone. Thus began what would be reconstruction with the arrival of the ecclesiastic Genzi Castelblanco in 1999. They took place activities were carried out until the last stone of the repaired temple was laid on August 18, 2000. But there was a long way to go, and in 2008 the Sir Priest Jamie Vargas arrived. It was proposed to fix the roof and then the ceiling, also affected by that 1995 earthquake. In 2015 the priest and the EPAP Parish Pastoral Animation Team began the procedures to distinguish it as a minor basilica, on the advice of Sir Priest Alicio Dueñas, one of the diocesan judges, since it met many requirements for this, such as being ancient, broad and artistic construction, solemnly consecrated to Our Lady of the Snows, of historical importance and with a cult that was a model of religiosity. Historical documents and graphic testimonies were compiled to send to the Colombian Episcopal Conference. Appreciating the file, they sent it to Rome for the approval of Pope Francis, who on October 18, 2019 officially declared it a minor basilica. For the proclamation, the symbols of a basilica, the canopy and the tintinnabulum, symbols of Pope's authority, were required and the ceremony was on December 28, presided over by Monsignor Luis Augusto Castro, Archbishop of Tunja, with the assistance of some bishops and priests.